Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, Bitchute channel, and you can get me on my Facebook page at True Divine 44. You can also reach me at The True Divine on both Instagram and Twitter. Any likes, shares, subscribes, comments, tweets, follows, greatly appreciated, and much love to everybody who's doing that thus far. I can't tell you how I'm very compassionate by nature anyway, but the overwhelming connection that I feel for so many of you, especially the people that comment, and that building of that relationship and meeting others through those relationships is just so beautiful to me. And I can't tell you how much I've been feeling the connection to so many of you, if not all, over the last few days, as well as all of the other energies. And it's been one of the more beautiful energies to feel. And so I appreciate you all so much. And, I send a good intent out for you guys every day. And giving these readings is part of that. But you better be sure that you feel me. You feel me strongly right now, supporting you, lifting you up, and sending out that intent for strength, wisdom, and love in your life. So this is where I have the readings, where I combine the energy work that I do and the tarot work that I do to bring you a narrative to help guide you on your day, reach your highest potential, recognize the energies within you, within others, and around you. Take what resonates. They are general, they're not personal readings, although they do hit the mark with a lot of people. Take what resonates and ditch what does not. Leave a comment. I always appreciate those comments more than anything, I do. I'm trying to get videos, just concentrating on the date, feeling into that timeline, part of the timeline, to get a few videos ahead so that I'm not missing, because I hate missing, and I'm just trying to recalibrate and rebalance routine to be able to be more regularly at a certain time sharing the content, being able to schedule it so that it hits, midnight my time as much as I possibly can. So this is for the 12th of January, I nearly said December, 2021. And it is another interesting day here in paradise. So we have got, let's see, do the bottom of the deck first. Let's do the bottom of the deck first. So we've got the Page of Wands. This has come up quite a few times, and it is speaking of, 1 second, I'll just mute because I need to cough. Excuse me. This is where it's asking us to be in flow. It's asking us to take account of the elements around us. It's asking us to be changeable. The messenger, the page is a messenger, a very fun, very charismatic, childlike energy, young energy, no matter what age it depicts in your life, whether it's you or people around you. It's either a child or just a very childlike energy, which is beautiful, inquisitive, cheerful at heart, generally cheerful at all times. So this is asking us to not just be focused on the destination, not just be focused on the point of where you need to go to or where you need to be. Yes, have that in mind, because the pages like to get the message across. They like to get the job done, but to be in full experience of the journey there, to be in full experience of the things that come along your way to reach you, to the people that come along your path, the detours that you are easily taken by, to experience even more on any given journey. because this is the fun-loving, inquisitive energy. So to be more in flow in general is the request from this energy. And so we have on the bottom of the other deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is a beautiful Ace of Pentacles card. You can see there's work being done. There's harvest being created. There's abundance here. There's everybody's got a role, and everybody is happily under the sun, you know, with knowing that they're creating their own abundance and sustainability. It's in reverse. And so this is where we have this underpinning energy of the abundance being stolen, the abundance being taken, allowing obstacles to put you off from getting your abundance. One easy answer is the so-called powers that be are very definitely on their biggest grand theft global scheme ever, you know, their latest scheme, you know, to see if it will work this time, to you know, wrangle like a cowboy the world, you know, for them to enjoy like a toy. And this is where we've been too complacent in giving them it. We've been too complacent in allowing their obstacles, allowing their draconian rules, their nonsensical rules to steal our abundance, to steal our experience. And it does come to a point, doesn't it, where you just, as an awake and aware person, you look at it and you think, wow, how arrogant, how arrogant. You stole this knowledge, you threatened people by violence and death way back when, and you still do the same thing today, just with a shinier surface. You puppeted people in front of people, you know, to wow them and amaze them, and you gave people some abundance, and you drew them in that way. Then you put them in fear, then you put them, and you're doing the same script over and over again. But actually, this planet is a being in herself. How arrogant can you get to tell me or anybody else that I cannot claim my birthright and experience my experience fully and happily in absolute abundance and absolutely in a symbiotic dance relationship, jive with the great mother, this being that we're on, that creates so much for us. And it does sometimes just make you sit back and think, wow, what arrogance, you know. Did their mother never teach them to go to bed on time? Or did their mother never teach them to, you know, just be a little bit, I don't know, self-analyzing? Because this is unreal. It's almost not human. Hint. So we've got getting into the reading, dear Theodore, because Mummy thought you should be asleep by now. Getting into the reading is the High Priestess. The first card is the High Priestess. You have got a magic lightsaber. So this is where we see the yin and the yang, the beautiful divine feminine energy that is of the hidden, the essence, the only seen and heard and understood by eyes to see and ears to hear. Those that have leveled up to a certain level within themselves, that have explored their inner cosmos themselves, to be able to take in, absorb the hidden information, impart the hidden information for good reason, in that you get too much of this occult knowledge, this hidden knowledge, when you're not ready, you spin your chakras out, you know, like a screw. when you're screwing it in and you're trying to get that screw to go in and you haven't got it on the right angle, but you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and turning and you thread it, you take the thread off. Your chakras can do that. You can sometimes take in too much too soon before you're ready, before you've grown enough, before you've gotten balanced enough within. We know that our energy points, our chakra points, stage by stage develop, as just like we do in the physical body. You know, as you see Theodore growing, there's certain aspects that haven't come online yet. And that is the same in our energetic body, in these energy points that we call chakras. And so you can spin them out, you can de-thread them, you can take the thread off. And so when that happens, you know, people do go crazy. They do sink into deep depression. They do things like leave this planet in an untimely way. You know, so there's the truth and the lie, for the reason that there are hidden societies, hidden schools, and hidden knowledge. Yet these so-called powers that be took that and thought, yeah, we'll use that. Well, that's a really good one, actually. We'll milk that for all it's worth. And we'll hide this knowledge from the people that gave them the divinity and their power. The mothers that knew this knowledge and gave the child the knowledge stage by stage, appropriate to age and appropriate to energy point development. So they stole that away and they hid it, and we see that in the secret societies that we see today. But many of the minions that are part of these secret societies know a lot. Of course they do. They've been given that gift of the knowledge that was stolen. But even they have certain aspects of it withheld from them. You know, they have the levels that they've got to go up. And again, for good reason, there's the truth in that they'll spin people's chakras out. They'll end up with a bunch of crazies in their society if they just give it all at once. But at the same time, if they hadn't gone and hijacked it, then we would have continued as we did way back in ancient times, before they started teaching their history. And we would have, as mothers, as fathers, given our children that knowledge of how to work with nature, of how to use elemental magic, how to channel our elements within and on the without, at the correct stages, at the correct ages, as we do with the teachings that we give them now. And so this is where this knowledge that they've been hiding for so long is coming forth. Sorry, really bad angle, really bad itch. Is coming forth, and it's coming forth to those that are ready to absorb it, ready to witness it. But at the same time, there is the surge of energy coming forward from this hidden, from this divine feminine essence, that many have been so corrupted and so manipulated and so controlled into believing the divine feminine to be something that is of lesser than and detrimental and dangerous, that they will be confronted with these energies because they are coming in with such force that they might not know what they're being confronted with. But actually, today we might see quite a few stories, quite a few headlines, quite a few things put out there where we see, for those who understand what is going on, you're going to be saying, yeah, they've spun their chakras out. They've threaded themselves, because they are confronted by this energy, and their inner self recognizes the divine feminine force, the divine feminine energetic imprint of it. But at the same time, everything about them has been conformed and corrupted to believe it to be something evil. So it is it's like a cognitive dissonance, but on all levels, on all aspects of the being. keep an eye out for that. Let me know what you see and leave a comment regarding it, because I find that really interesting. And this is where we basically see people losing their beep, you know. And so, but then in the other case, this is where we see higher consciousness, people who have been absorbing this energy for a long time, who came here with a huge imprint of this energy, and they are swimming in absolute bliss today, where they are understanding things that they had, you know, uploaded, downloaded from their higher self, from even their lower aspect self, that didn't quite make sense at the time, but because of this surge of energy, it's just clicking, and you think, that's why that came in for me at that time. That's what that is all about. I'm going to write that one down too. And so we see that this is, you know, the opposite ends of the spectrum. Again, we keep seeing these opposite ends of the spectrum. I've got such a itchy nose sometimes when I channel. You've got an itchy nose too. Yeah, you do that too, don't you? Mm-hmm. Like this. Yes. So swim. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. You know, because this energy is going to give you much more understanding than I can even give you. It's beautiful. It's colourful. It's light but dense. And I say that because you feel light, but you feel supported by this foundation, by this substance. And it's almost, I'm almost not able to depict it by words, so I'm trying to sort of telepathically let you see what I'm seeing. But this plasma-like, I feel energy real easy. And even as a baby, apparently because I didn't sleep as a baby either, and I didn't cry, but I still kept my mom up because she felt guilty going to sleep with me just in the cot beside her, just playing and running my fingers back and forth. Now, when I see a baby and they're, you know, doing the hand thing, and they're just, you know, running their hands through the air, I see what they're playing with. It's not just that they're getting used to their hand. Of course they are too, but it's saying they're still so close to their higher self. They're still so close to their true essence that they can feel so connected. And you see, when you look at them, you can see the colors running through their fingers. You can see the slight resistance, not even measurable resistance, but the feeling that they're running through something, as my fingers do now. And it's as if a lot of you today, if you just stop and run your fingers through and feel that, do this. This isn't a full session at all. I want you to bring your hands up and draw your hands close together, but not too close. And feel that energy between your hands. Now put it in a sphere. You feel it. You feel it. And try and run your fingers down through it. Now you feel it. That's what you're feeling. This energy. But that energy is infused with this divine feminine. Just beauty. And so this is where we are truly supported, and this is where the hidden hand has worked so hard and had to work very diligently, and even build systems to entertain us in order to put their magic out over us, in order to get us to consent to their doings, by placing the bets, by paying for the tickets and whatnot. because they know how powerful this energy is, and they know how powerful you are in this energy. That basically the kind of abuse and sick abuse and corruption that they've managed to get away with for so long could not and would not exist with the balance in the right order and the balance re-established of the divine feminine energy here within us. Because the divine feminine energy has been around, it's been in every leaf, in every flower, but from our consciousness, it's been hidden. It's not just been hidden, it's been made lesser than, it's been corrupted, it's been made to be something dangerous, something without wisdom, you know, something that, you know, that keeps the woman in the place kind of thing. And so this is the surge of energy that a lot of you are feeling today. And on the converse, like I've mentioned, it's the surge of energy that everybody's feeling today. So depending on where you are in your consciousness, depending on where you are in your chakra system, in your levels, then you know, in your balance, you're going to react to it in two very different ways, many very different ways. So we've got this Temperance card here, and it's in reverse, and this is where we see the imbalance. And this is where I think they depict these secret societies, the hidden hand, so to speak, depicts the divine feminine energy as chaotic, you know, as you know, the way that they depict Ma Kali, Kali Ma, is that she is chaotic, you know. When you unleash her, she's terrible, she's a tyrant, and actually she only ever slayed the ego, the demons that depicted the ego. And so I mentioned that, I think it was to the lovely Truth Seeker the other day in the comments, so it's funny she's come to mind again. But so it's where this lack of balance, because of the fact that this surge of energy, it's not that it is chaotic, but it's going to feel chaotic to those that have been manipulated to believe that that's what it is, to those that have allowed themselves to be complacent enough to be fooled into this misogyny role, both male and female, to be quite honest, into believing them when they said that. And so it feels chaotic, because if you look at the story of Kali Ma, it is that, you know, they made a, you know, with a gift from each of the gods when they were desperate, when demons were taking over and just trashing everything. And they were warring with the gods, and the gods were tired, the gods were losing. And this is where it's the depiction of that she is made in this huge, big being. And, you know, she shines with higher consciousness through her blue skin, through every pore. And she comes and she sees what's going on, and she slays it. And I can't describe it fully, but, you know, there's limbs involved. And afterwards, you know, she has to be stopped by Shiva, because she's in that mix of what would seem like chaos. Careful, Theodore. It's okay. Don't say sorry. You've hurt your foot. Oh, come here, baby. Come here. So this is where we see that she then wait a minute, you're going on a funny angle. That we see that you know, she has to be stopped, because she's gotten into such a flow of slaying these demonic energies. But actually, it said that if you're on your spirit, if you're on your spiritual path, you, okay. Okay, so if you're on your spiritual path, Ma Kali will look at you with the most loving eyes. If you are, and you'll know that you're right with her. And if you are not in your spiritual path, if you are in your ego, which that's what the demons depicted, many egos running around. If you are in that, then 1 second, I'll grab that. If you are in your ego, then sorry, this is a real disturbed video. If you're in your ego, then you will have her eyes meet you with terror, and you'll feel terror. Well, I'm sure my kids would say that too, that if they are not acting in a higher consciousness and they are acting out of ego and they are hurting themselves and others by doing that, then, you know, you better be sure they probably have a strike of terror in their heart by the way that I look and talk, when I need to correct that as their mother, as their guidance. But then if they're on their spiritual path, conversely, my children will describe to you that they have that they feel warmth and love. Now, in either depiction of me with them, the love never goes, the compassion never goes. I love them enough to come in like a Tasmanian devil and be that chaotic energy in order to put things in balance again. And I love them enough, just as much to show them the love and compassion and pride when they're doing the right thing and in the higher consciousness and on the spiritual path. So it depends how you perceive it, and lots of people have been fooled into and complacent enough to believe and perceive the divine feminine as nothing but this brutish, chaotic, hormonal energy. And so that's what people are feeling today. Long story short, but it wasn't that short because it's me. It's Jennifer. So we've got the 10 of Cups for the next card. This shows emotional alignment, emotional wholeness, waters in alignment, and therefore on the outside creating beautiful connections, true connections, matching frequency connections that you can really be together with and in alignment with. This brings happiness, this brings bliss, this brings the ability to enjoy this experience with the right people around you. It is a beautiful, beautiful energy, a beautiful card. It speaks of harmony in your individual life. Now we've got this card that cropped up again, and now I put it back in the deck, and I've used this deck twice since yesterday. Well, today, but it's later on. And I put it in the upright and it's come back out in the reverse. This 6 of Swords here. Theodore, 1 minute, baby. You know about this. Thank you, I appreciate that. Like, you don't know about these cards. Thank you, I really appreciate that. So this 6 of Swords coming back up in reverse is something to really take note of. In that the game that is being played, in your higher consciousness, with this surge of divine feminine energy, bursting from within you, and it's around you, and you have the frequency to absorb it, then you have got this ability to rise above the game, to see the game and rise above the game in order to create alignment in your personal life still. And this is key. This is part of your power. This is part of you showing your divinity and your sovereignty. It also shows today that the game gets a bit nastier for those that aren't there, for those that aren't in that alignment, for those that aren't able to stay in their higher frequency no matter the storm around them. Look out today for the number 33. Something's been leading me. I usually add up the numbers and things if I need to, and personal readings if I'm led to, and I'm being called to look at the numbers again. I'm being called to see the numbers. As I know they have an energy and frequency of their own. There's something about, the rituals that will be put out today. Look out for something Boris says in the UK. I'm sure he's going to be mentioning the number 33. In particular, I feel that it's going to be some kind of comment or some kind of, I don't know, weighing in regarding the capital and what happened there. So the game that's being played, the corrupt game that is being played, is having a bit of a shake-up today, because they have to stay on their timeline, and they've been rushed into this ritual magic anyway. I've mentioned that in previous readings, but they have to try and stay on their timeline as much as possible in order for the rituals to be powerful enough to harness our consciousness for us to create their reality through our consciousness. So the more people that are finding their inner balance, that are absorbing this divine feminine energy, and therefore the divine feminine energy is exalting the divine masculine energy from within, the more they are getting a bit shaken, the more they are having to alter certain things without altering the plan and the dates too much. And so this number 33, conversely, look out for something coming out regarding in France at the number 33, and the USA, America, I don't know which one to call, don't know which one to say. Number 33 being mentioned in speeches. Germany too. The Vatican might even make a comment today on something or somewhat to weigh in with their pathetic excuse as guidance. But the number 33, I feel like somewhere it might be that they've mentioned that 33 people have, it's okay, calm down though, baby, have died. I don't know if it will be true or not, or whether it will just be a play on numbers to be able to put out their ritual into our consciousness in order to manifest what they want to manifest. Staying in your high consciousness today, swimming in this pool of beautiful energy today, is the highest and most potential full path you could take today, and the most impactful path you could take today. So the 5 of Cups we see here, and this is creating the sadness, and this is where we see that even some of the awake and aware people are feeling this today, because there's certain things that are being depicted today, being played out in the headlines today, trending today, that are going to create real sadness, in that the hope is gone regarding any kind of hope you might have still held out of anybody external to self. And this is where the 3 cups here, the man's concentrating, hunched over. Some of you might be feeling aches in the neck and in the shoulders, tension there. And is concentrating on these 3 cups. Now, it's okay to stay in this energy for a little while, but it's important to be the 5, to find life again. If you turn around, there's 2 cups in the upright with everything you need within. You go from, at the start of the reading, the 2 pillars of knowledge, the yin and the yang of the high priestess, the divine feminine energy, of the hidden. And then that's within you, within these two cups, always. You always can have this balance within, in your divine feminine and your divine masculine. You just have to fight through that energy of feeling forlorn, feeling regret, feeling disappointed, and turn around. Wave off that cloak and turn around. Because you have everything that you would need to go forward in it. And all of the lessons and experience of whatever it is that you're mourning, whatever it is that you're doubtful of and upset about. So to clarify that card, we have the Strength card, which is beautiful. Again, this supportive energy. And this, again, depicts the balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine. This year being the divine masculine, and of course the divine feminine here in front. And this is where the Strength card shows that it's not about brute force. It never was. It's not about strength in muscular stature. Because here we see that the divine feminine actually, with compassion, but with gentle but powerful force, can prise open the jaws of a lion beast in most of the traditional decks. And this is why the divine feminine energy is so, creates so much fear in these secret societies, because she can come in like a thief in the night and take back what is hers. If enough people have an open enough and high enough consciousness to accept her back in, to take off that veil and recognize the strength and recognize the balance that it would create, to invite her, this energy from within yourself, to be the strength. So this is a major arcana number 9, and this is about this force that is moving through many people that hasn't been spoken of too much, but is becoming more and more apparent in many people's consciousness. Wayne Steiger, a beautiful man, had I always have his link in the description if you want to check out his shows. Is a man full of wisdom and compassion, and comes from a very balanced place. But he even had this surge last week of this divine feminine energy, and just the recognition of that being lacking for so long, and just ready for the search, ready for the invitation, ready for the absorption of that energy. So I know he's going to have a great day today. And this is where all of you that have resonated with this reading, above the noise, are going to have a fantastic day today, no matter what is thrown your way. But we do see that it takes a bit of strength. It takes that warrior goddess energy to be allowed to rise up in each and every one of us, male and female, in order to see past the veil of the 3D sadness, in order to see past the things that go on today that would cause sadness, both on the collective stage and in our individual lives, and take back the power, take back the stance that we so desperately need to take. So I think that's all I need to say. Look out for the number 33. I think I'll let you go because Little Legs is pretending something very loudly. And so thank you for bearing with me in this video if you have managed to stay the course. And of course he goes back to bed as I'm about to stop. Gotta love him. Got to love him. So Is there anything else I need to say? I think I want to say that these so-called powers that be have gotten away with a lot of what they've gotten away with because they've been very staunch. They've been very obsessive and very active. That's not the right word. Some of you are hearing the right word as you're hearing me, or saying the right word. Scream it out to me. They've been very on point, and we've been complacent as a collective. That's what I want to say. You insert the right word, please. But they've been that way, and this is how they've gotten away with it for so long. So today, if you have social media, flood it with the energy of saying, I do not consent. You know, simply, I do not consent. I do not agree. I do not recognize this authority. I have this authority within me. That I have the balance of my divinities within me. And that is the authority that I recognize. Something along those lines to flood their very own, because they hijack our stages. And so they give us these stages, and of course that was a psyop to learn more from us and get us to teach the AI. Of course it was. But let's use it for what it's worth. Let's hijack their stages. Let's be as passionate, that's the word, as passionate as they are, you know, and use their stages, hijack their stages with our knowledge that has been hidden for too long, with our energy that does not get shouted from the rooftops, because often the more negative is much louder. So it's time for us to take that stance, to have that strength, to rise above and hijack their stages in order to take back what is ours. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I'm sending you all intent for, absorb this now as I say it, for the best swim of your life today, in the most beautiful energy of this divine feminine force, that your divine masculine within you feels lit because of its home, because you feel at home again within yourself, because you feel exalted again, divine masculine in all of you. And I speak to the divine feminine in all of you and say, awaken, rise up, be exalted, be adored, know your beauty, know your strength, know your force and your abundance. And I say to all of the physical aspects of you, to be in health, to feel beautiful, to feel loved and balanced and whole, and to enjoy the day. And I say that from my heart to your heart. If you want to join in that intent, just absorb my words, claim them, accept them as your own. And in that combined intent, I have no doubt at all that you will feel my compassion for you within your day and release that compassion for self within your day. Come and say goodbye, Theodore, since you've been such a big feature of this video. Come on. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. I was having fun and we're just trying bebop and motorboats.
Yes.
Motorboats and Crabots. And Sonic movie if you didn't watch it.
Okay.
Oh, so I've got bee-bots.
Okay.
And bee-bots were just lasers to shoot at people.
What do you think people should know today? What energy do you think they should enjoy?
Eating fruit.
Eating fruit. That's the one. High five, my boy.
But my favourite fruit is grapes.
You love grapes, don't you?
Yeah, but
Fist bump.
I like the red.
You like the red. Okay then. Love you all. Stay balanced.
Stay round.
Stay whole.
Stay whole.
Okay. Mwah. I love you all. Thank you all so much for bearing with me and bearing with my children.